For every aggressive offender behind bars at Pendleton Juvenile, there's a former bad boy who has spent years exorcising the demons of his past. 18-year-old John Madden is one of those kids.
I turned 15 here, turned 16 here, turned 17 here, and turned 18 here. I got a battery on staff charge, and I regret it. I feel really bad about it because these officers don't do nothing but come in here and do their jobs, and I was being stupid and ignorant and thought, hey, he's gonna mess with me, I'm gonna mess with him, and I don't even feel like talking about it.
Madden was sent here as a disciplinary transfer from his previous facility and participated in a disturbance in Indianapolis. So he came here straight to our segregation unit. He was angry, he was mad, and he was non-compliant with every request. He was a good kid to work with because you could see from whatever he's went through in his life, he decided he was gonna make some changes.
My real daddy, he's in and out of prison. He got out last time, and he's most likely back in again because he wrote me like 4 letters and I haven't heard from him. And before that, the last time I heard from him, I was about 9. Before that, I was 6.
For Madden, peeling back the layers of anger didn't happen overnight. It might not have happened at all, but one innovative yet simple program changed all that.
How many days and you'll be through? How many days and you'll be through?
This has really changed my life. I came over here to our gang unit. I was a gangbanger, thought I was a tough guy, and I've learned a lot since I've been on the unit. I've got a lot of self-discipline. I've transitioned from one person to another. 4, honor, courage, commitment. 5, honor, courage, commitment.
The Future Soldier program can really give the offenders hope and give them an alternative future. Rather than us throwing all these resources in the offender while he's at the facility and then returning them back to the same environment that he was in before he came here, the idea is that when they complete the Future Soldier program, they'll be released directly into one of the military branches and leave here and go direct to a boot camp.
Echo 15, attention.
Housed in Pendleton's Echo 15 unit, 24 carefully screened offenders make up the Future Soldiers program. But getting their prison walking papers and marching straight to boot camp isn't so simple. There's still red tape. Military requirements demand offenders be out of Pendleton 30 days after their release before they can officially enlist. And 30 days can be a lifetime for kids like Madden, who return to drug and gang-infested neighborhoods.
What really makes me nervous is him returning back to his old environment and the situations that got him in trouble in the first place. It's hard for them to maintain the discipline and the structure they have here once they return to the home or the streets.
I feel like this is the most positive thing I can do. It's either that or go back to Indy, and there's not a whole lot there for me. A lot of people aren't going to appreciate that I'm trying to do something for myself, and I don't feel like I need to go back to that because I don't feel like I'm going to have a whole lot of support.
With his release day just weeks away and military recruiters in town, Superintendent Dempsey nervously tries to find a solution to bridge the 30-day probation period that would require Madden to return to his old haunts.
He's come a long way. He's really taken that program to heart.
One sound, one unit!
If we can make this happen for him so that he can leave this facility and report direct to the Navy, it gives him a future, it gives him the hope that he needs to truly make a difference in the rest of his life.
Take care of my formation.
E15. Ball is right, double time.
While Dempsey searches for a solution for Madden, military officers Rick Johnson, Dwayne Cooley, and John Mercer have their hands full, interviewing other offenders who want a shot at being in the Future Soldier program.
Recite the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
150 of Pendleton's 300 inmates have applied for the unit. Currently, there is only room for 3 more.
It's a tight unit. We have to be very careful who we let into the unit. Today is a selection interview process. We're going to do our best to screen out any people that might be detrimental to good order and discipline in the unit, because we have to protect that. Why are you requesting to join E15?
I would like to get away from negative peers. There's a lot of negative peers on the unit I'm on now. So I know that if I come here, I got more of an opportunity to go home.
We get up at 4:50 in the morning. Is that going to be a problem?
No, sir.
It's a very structured environment. You go to bed at the same time. There's no horseplay. Absolutely no horseplay. Is that going to be a problem?
No, sir.
2100 is lights out, taps. There is no talking. If you was to be caught talking, the whole room gets up and does PT. Yeah.
PT, sir, is that
physical training? Would you have any problems with that?
No, sir.
How are you going to be able to handle taking direction and orders from other guys in your position?
Well, sir, I would think to myself, if I listen to them, then maybe one day I'll be able to get up there and be able to be the one.
Yeah. Great answer.
Even though this offender has all the right answers, the decision to accept him into the unit is complicated.
These juveniles come from horrible backgrounds. I tend not to judge them, but we want to ask ourselves, do we think they're going to learn in this unit?
The military team must weigh their personal feelings about the offender with the troubling events that brought him to Pendleton in the first place. And competition to get into Echo 15 is tough.
I wouldn't say I wouldn't let him on the unit. We're going to have to weigh him out once we go through everybody else.
He's always followed my orders. He's never questioned me. I was a new guy, brand new on his unit, and he never gave me an ounce of trouble.
As the interviews continue, a familiar face walks through the door.
Pick your head up, man. Don't be nervous. Have a seat. You know us all.
This impulsive teen was kicked out of the program once before.
Why you want to come back to the unit?
I can't do anything positive because of my actions and just getting mad all the time. I was never mad over here. I just didn't feel I was really ready to be over here.
Why did you get taken off the unit?
I battered somebody.
Why did you batter him?
I heard some stuff that he did about me, so I just took my anger out at that time.
You gotta earn it. You can't be out in GP acting a fool and expect to come over to our program because it's not gonna happen.
If we bring you back over here, are you gonna batter somebody else on our unit?
Well, you might consider me trying to make an excuse, but I don't have any problems with nobody over here, and that's my word.
Okay.
It's a real good group of guys that we got over there working on team building right now, and it's coming along nice.
It doesn't matter whether you get on this unit or not. Eventually, you're gonna have to learn how to handle your anger without fighting, whether it's here or in 14 or wherever. And once you do that, it's not going to matter what unit you're in, and you'll be where you need to be.
By mid-afternoon, the last offender of the day makes his pitch to get into the program.
And why are you in juvenile this time?
Strong arm robbery.
How long have you been in the Department of Corrections?
Since I was 12.
My biggest concern is your gang affiliation. So how are you going to convince me that you're renouncing your gang and you're folding your flag?
Yeah, I did that before I decided to come over here. And I folded my flag because being in a gang, it don't get you nowhere. And I'll prove to you by coming over here, and you won't see me throwing up them gang signs I throw.
I've been talking to your officers, school. I've been actually, been investigating on you to see if you're really serious and not just trying to, play me. Right now, I'm going to say yes.
One of the first things you said when you sat down is that you felt like you were a victim of the system. What we need you to do at all times in this unit is have accountability for yourself and for what you've done to be in the position that you're in.
Indiana's Pendleton Juvenile Correctional Facility, one of America's largest maximum security juvenile prisons. Pendleton is the last stop for teens in the juvenile justice system. But in this prison, education and rehabilitation are mandatory, even for the toughest teen offenders.
It's not a game. I'm telling you, it's not a game. 7-4.
I've been doing this for 6 years now, and I understand, when we come through the door that there are things that could happen that day. But here, more so than other places, it seems if you are afraid or if you show fear, then you'll be pretty much chewed up and spit out.
It's actually a term called cage courage, where they tend to, because they know they're hiding behind the door and they're safe from any kind of recourse or anything, they can really act out.
Life in the segregation unit can run hot and cold on any given day.
People have been down here for a while. They kind of learn, to get along, and we don't really have that much of a problem with them.
Eventually, destructive teen spirit loses out to the boredom of time and SAG. No one knows this better than 18-year-old John Madden.
Really wasn't a very good person. I wasn't at all. That used to be the reputation I wanted. I wanted to be a bad guy.
A year ago, after 2 years behind bars and a past he'd rather forget, Madden made a choice. The military would be his future.
I want to go. I want to serve my country. I mean, I became a little bit of a patriot, and I want to fight for my country. We got a war going on right now against terrorism, and so many innocent lives have been taken. I mean, I want to fight. I want to fight for what's right. It makes me feel like I'm redeeming myself for all the bad karma that I've set up for myself.
I love this program. I am a Vietnam vet myself.
Counselor Frank Sawyer is a corporate retiree.
Are you dealing with the physical parts of the program?
Like I've done about 250 push-ups today alone.
Good, that's excellent.
Inside Pendleton, he found the work of a lifetime with kids like Madden and the future soldiers of Echo 15.
The Future Soldiers program kind of breathed extra life into what I'm trying to do.
Attention on deck.
When we step in there, somebody's in your face.
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Attention. And they answer you, "No, it's not yes, it's yes, sir."
Yes, sir. This bed is a train wreck. Needs to be fixed. Yes, sir.
When you come face to face and head on with that kind of in-charge discipline, it really tells who wants to do the program and not.
Where's that go?
Good job, sir.
Are you ready, 15?
We're very pleased with John's progress. His background is challenging, to say the least, but he takes time and he's thinking things through. I've seen him take charge, take leadership, and we are really hopeful that he's going to be one of our success stories.
Good job, y'all.
Success for Madden is so close he can taste it. But two major hurdles still stand in the way: getting through his final release interview to get out of prison, and passing the military test to enlist in the Navy once he's out.
I'm a little bit scared. I don't know if I'm handling it right, but I'm going to try my hardest.
Hurdle number one is just around the corner.
Yes, go ahead. Have a seat right there, please. Well, Mr. Madden, can you tell us what you've learned since you've been here?
I took group a little bit more seriously this time, and it's helped me out a lot. I'm learning to stop and think now before I do anything. That's the biggest part that was getting me in trouble, because I was hot-headed, and I wouldn't think about my actions before I did them.
So what were your committed offenses that got you here?
Originally, it was battery and violations of suspended commitment, and I was released on community supervision, and I violated that and came back.
So what did you learn from the control unit?
That I'm as much prone to consequences as anybody else is. I lost 8 months of my life sitting in that room because I wanted to be tough and I wanted to look cool in front of all my boys.
So, you don't have the gangs now. That was your family for a while, correct? Now, who's going to be your family now?
If I get into the Navy, my family's going to be my branch of military, my recruiter, my officers, my fellow enlistees.
What's your idea of how important education is?
Getting my GED was a big step because nobody expected me to finish school. I didn't expect to finish school myself, but a lot of people thought I was just going to drop out.
Didn't you have one of the highest scores in your class?
I had 692.
That's an excellent score. And I didn't hear you really brag on that to us.
While Madden's path to release seems to be on track, back in Echo 15, military officers are having a much harder time deciding who will fill the final spots in the Future Soldiers program.
We have 3 open spots, and we're going over about 150 applications.
Once we go through all the interviews, we'll decide who's going to be the best fit and who we want. It's a competition. I mean, we have to pick the best recruits for this program. We asked you to, if you were serious about coming to the military unit, you cut your hair, and you did.
I didn't want to, but I had.
You did it. Now, what happened over in 13 when you cut your hair? What did everybody else say?
They didn't like it. They couldn't respect the fact that I was trying to do something different for myself. So therefore I made a decision on my own. I came here by myself and I wouldn't leave by myself.
After hours of interviews and debate, the team has narrowed its search. But there's no guarantee all 3 spots will be filled.
I could see him doing good on this unit. I'm concerned about a lot of the manipulation that's in his background.
You look at the pool of recruits that we have, you know, a general recruiter on the outside, you know, they go to high schools and recruit. We go to general population and recruit. A lot of guys that come to E15, they really want to improve themselves.
We want the ones that really want to change.
One, sir.
The officers of Echo 15 found their star soldier when Madden walked through the door. Before he can officially graduate from the program, he has one final step, passing his release interview with the Pendleton staff. That's about to get a whole lot harder than he thought.
Is that your uniform?
Yes, sir.
Why aren't you wearing your jump boots?
They're on the unit, sir.
But that still doesn't answer my question. Why aren't they on your feet?
They were in the process of being shined when I got called down here.
Did you get in a fight recently?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that fight.
I guess I decided to be a little bit of a vigilante. Me and McKinstry got into it. Instructor McKinley told us to sit in the chairs and not to talk. Oh, he started going off and calling her B's and saying F this and F that and F this unit. And I guess I decided to take him on. I wasn't handling it right.
What you tried to do sounds good. You had a good reason for trying to do something positive, but you just admitted to us it wasn't the right way to do it.
It's been over an hour since John Madden made his case to the release committee that he should finally be a free man.
They're gonna give it to you, man. You've got everything going for you.
But after 3 years of counseling, hard work, and a few setbacks, getting out of Pendleton is never a given.
He's one of the leaders, a squad leader, if you may, in the military, but yet he was out of uniform. And that was my biggest concern. Why would, coming to such an important meeting, would he leave something like that out?
You've got a very, very good chance.
I hope so. It'll take me off for a long time, so.
He's really holding other offenders up to the bar, really. He's really trying to make them step up to the game and just do what they're supposed to be doing.
He did a good job with his transition essay. He probably has more depth and understanding of you know where he's going and what his goals are than most of the students I see. So I mean that's in his favor, and he's bright. He seems to have a purpose.
That's it. This is where he gets his hand.
We have all discussed your reentry, and we're going to talk about what we decided with you at this time. We have approved your reentry level with the following terms that you need to complete.
After 3 long years and a total transformation, Madden is finally free.
Told you.
In just a few weeks, he will leave Pendleton, hopefully for good.
I'm gonna be nervous. It's gonna make me feel weird. I'm not used to not having an officer breathing down my neck. I'm gonna have a lot of leadway, and it's gonna feel like the best Christmas gift ever.
With Madden's release from Pendleton in the bag, military officers Johnson, Mercer, and Cooley have one last mission, filling the final spot in the Future Soldier program. After denouncing his gang and cutting his hair, this offender is one of the lucky ones.
I told you a long time ago, cut your hair. All you gotta do is cut your hair.
Sounds like you're in.
Yeah, I'll give you a chance. You know how many people went in this program?
50,000.
Now, honestly, how many people went in this program in this facility? Would you say at least half the people?
Yeah.
At least half the people went in this. So if there's 3 beds and you get one of them, you need to make the most of that opportunity.
Despite the good news for this offender, not everyone will make the cut. Even though there are 3 beds open, the officers decide only 2 teens are ready for the program. After being kicked out once before, this offender gets a second and final chance.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to tell Instructor Johnson and Officer Mercer that it's a go for me.
I got no problem with it, you know that. It's a go, as long as you can back up what you're selling. Because you're selling a pretty good product here. I just hope you can back it up. He's either going to make us look really good, or he's going to make us look really bad.
I'm going to be optimistic, but you know, it's
that's all we can do.
With future soldier interviews complete, staff can now concentrate on John Madden's final step, passing the military exam to pave the way for enlistment in the Navy.
Well, tomorrow's just basically going to be that honeymoon period where I get to stay up all night worrying and go to sleep at about 1 o'clock and wake up at 4 to get ready. But Friday I'm going to be going to the MEP station, take my ASVAB test. But if I would have never been locked up, I would have still been out there doing the same stuff, running with the same crowd. I would have still been a people pleaser and a fit-in. I've gained a lot from this program.
The world needs to know that at one time you will encounter these kids again. So it's my job to make sure that these kids come out of here on a different level in life. You know, being respectful, law-abiding citizens for one, and then to be able to go out in this world and make it, and make something of themselves.
Are you ready?
Always ready, sir.
We're not gonna save them all, but know this, any offender that comes into this program will be touched and will be embraced with a humble heart.
I want people on the ready line in 5 minutes. This is taking entirely too long. 20, sir. Hey, go! You know! 1, 2, 1, 2.
After leading his Pendleton unit through the morning routine, Madden is ready for what's ahead.
Feel excited a little bit. I guess I can go there, do my best in my ASVAB. I don't want shop information gonna kill me, but I'll try my best on it. Nervous, a little bit scared. I ain't been outside the fence in a while, so it's gonna be a new thing to me. I mean, I've turned my life around 180. I think I've came a long way. Don't mean to boast or brag, but is it time?
Go. You ready?
Let's have my coat.
Put that on.
Yes, sir.
Military officers Dwayne Cooley and Rick Johnson have waited for this day for months.
So how you feel about being ready to take the test?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, you've been studying, so you're prepared, you'll be fine.
It's now time to make the 1-hour drive to Indianapolis, where Madden will take his 3-hour military test.
It's a very proud moment. I'm real excited too. So I'm so excited. I'm not even taking the test. So it's just a real big day.
Got one question for you, Mr. Madden.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Always ready, sir.
Let's go.
It's been 2 long days since John Madden took the biggest test of his life.
We took Cadet Madden to MEPS, which is the Military Entrance Processing Station. He took his ASVAB, and that's a placement exam. And he cut an 83, which is outstanding. Normal is around 40, so he did twice the norm.
I felt proud of myself. I mean, I didn't really realize the severity of it until they told me most people in Indiana only score about a 35 or a 40, and I was like, wow. But I mean, I don't know, it's made me feel good.
We knew he was intelligent. He's a natural leader. If he's ever fortunate enough to get in the military, he's going to be a superstar. There's no doubt about it.
1 center!
1 unit!
Unfortunately for Madden, though, going straight into the military is no longer an option. Superintendent Mike Dempsey's plan to release him directly from Pendleton into the Navy wasn't as easy as he had hoped.
He has a 30-day wait period from when he's done with either the program or any probation.
For the Navy to pursue him, he needs to be out of the Department of Corrections for 30 days. So what we need to do is get him out of here and get him home for 30 days. Then he can go in and he can take his physical. So that's the next hurdle for him.
Despite going back to his old neighborhood, Madden is determined to stay away from the landmines that got him into trouble in the first place.
I'm not gonna stay getting locked up. I'm not gonna follow my father's path and end up in prison somewhere. I'm not gonna be peddling drugs. I'm not gonna be dealing with firearms.
Ready, front, forward, pause.
I'm done with the little hood rat scenario. It's time to be a man.
That's how we do it in here. That's how we do it in here. One sound, one unit.
I'm about to go back in, I guess, get saluted, say goodbye to all my buddies that I made since I've been here. It'll be the last time I see most of them. Might see some of them again, but I'm glad to leave. 3 years is a long time to be locked up. I mean, I've changed myself, so I mean, I'm out of here, so.
Time to go home today, John.
12 o'clock, sir.
After spending nearly all his teenage years in detention centers and lockups like Pendleton, 18-year-old John Madden is about to be a free man.
Request permission to walk the line, sir.
Walk the line.
Take care of it, man. Stay out of trouble. Take care of it, man. Work on, bro. My guy, Sonny. Big feeders. They won, bro. Keep it up.
Echo, 1, 2, jump. One sound, one unit.
Request permission to walk the line, sir.
Walk the line.
Whose house is this?
Our house.
Who-ah.
Who-ah.
Miss y'all, man.
You go see Mom?
Yes, sir.
Let's go see.
As Madden gets ready for his final graduation ceremony, just steps away, his mom prepares to see her son for the first time in 2 years.
It's very hard on your emotions. I hate to say it, but after a while you kind of get used to him being gone. But I could come across a sock that belonged to him or walk back past something that, you know, was his favorite or something and just, you know, break down in tears because, you know they're gone for a while.
35, 55, has one en route to visitation and one will be en route to the dining hall from the 11th.
Got a lot of challenges ahead of this job for me and you. You know that? Coming into a new situation. Okay? I love you very much. I'm so proud of you.
Welcome to Pendleton Juvenile Correctional Facility graduation today. My name is Mr. Bullock. I'm a counselor here. I had an opportunity to work with all these guys in different settings.
I'd like to point out John Madden. He has really had a lot of achievements since he's been here, and I'm just glad to see this day happen.
Get dressed.
After 3 years in Pendleton, John will now walk out a free man.
Take care.
Take care of yourself, girl. All right.
He carries with him the hopes of all those who have witnessed his transformation.
Make yourself proud, John.
But John Madden has hopes of his own.
Y'all came to see me 6 months. I want you to see a successful young man. I want you to see somebody that went out and did what he was talking about. I want y'all to see something good.